Today on EA Sports. Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Washington Commanders.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we reach Week 15 and we've got a good matchup in store between the Washington Commanders and the Minnesota Vikings. Again, everyone, Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. The numbers on the ground for Foreman in last week's contest. 17 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Grayson now. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Now Foreman. And some space here. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 12-yard line. Instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another 2nd down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays 2nd down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a 1st down before they have to start their downs over again.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they're going to get this down inside the 15.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They'll try and run for the first time with Freeman. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Grayson. And that is incomplete here. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions. And
touchdown! A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
On 1st and 10, Gary. He finds his man, complete. It's Logan. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw. Gary, he's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. 52 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
To throw on 2nd down, Grayson. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, In addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Grayson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's a pass swung out left to his. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. On 1st down, Gary. He finds his man, complete. That's Potter. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 7-7, our score after 1. Throwing on 1st down. Gary. Here's Booker on the catch. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They've moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Off the play fake. Grayson. And that is incomplete.
That was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Grayson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Washington going to send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. Now their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gary. And he fires one incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it. You do go through.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big play there for Minnesota. 48 yards. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings booming away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Washington offense going back to work. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a miss.
And a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. From the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Off play action. Grayson. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down. Looking to throw. Grayson. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got Smith here. He's got room at the 30. A huge play there for Washington. 41 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Touchdown, Washington. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders get a bit closer. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to
taking it right down Broadway. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From the 6. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the gun on third down, Grayson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Back to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front in that one. The Cards seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head up to the Pacific Northwest. Check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Titans looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Lions don't want to give up on the playoffs just yet, as they get back to 500 at 7-7 and keep their slim hopes alive. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's got some space here. There he goes right side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 76 yards. And the Vikings come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point.
The big fella, he's at the 40. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense, diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 3rd and 2, Grayson. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Back to throw. Grayson. And he fends him off. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Grayson. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Flushed it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a big loss of 10 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
The Commanders going to bring out the field goal unit. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is good. And that drops the deficit from 28 to 25. Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Gary. He finds his man, complete. That's Potter. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Gary. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And he's got Booker. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Gary. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Throwing again. Gary. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run again with Foreman. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They've put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford any more at this point. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. This is fielded at the 27.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
And the Vikings now heading on to the field.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And down to the 36-yard line here.
160 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Gary. And that is incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So it'll be a loss on the play of 12 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
To throw on 2nd down, Grayson.
This pass hauled in by Dotson.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down. Looking to throw. Grayson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And just a yard to go here on second down.
Back to throw. Grayson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
To throw on third down. Grayson over the middle to Smith.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Grayson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Grayson firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Operating from the gun, Grayson. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
So it's Commanders football as we get back to it.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big connection on that one. 47 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Vikings, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Washington, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Tonight, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Takes it at the 7. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And he'll find Washington. That's complete. 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Tucker. They stop short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
He'll try again.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there.
Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, They seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to having a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
On 1st and 10, Gary, throw left side complete. That's Potter. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. The Vikings are 12-2 now on the year, and they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down. Operating from the gun, Gary. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
Fielded right around the 8. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense.
And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule. But you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football. I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Tucker. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. Pretty effective opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the touchdown run earlier, and if he pops more of these 10 to 20-yard carries, could be a long game.
Yeah, those types of explosive runs wear down a defense. I think they need to add more people to the box, closer to the line of scrimmage, force them to throw the football, and see if they can slow them down that way.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
And this one is incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
A big play there for Minnesota. 56 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Looking to throw. Gary, he's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
On play action, Lawrence. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14. 23 yards the pickup there.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. These two teams all tied after one. Second and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? Here's another carry for Harris. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. This is Harris on the draw. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He finds his man, complete. It's Logan. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Back to throw. Gary. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They go play action here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Hilton looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Lawrence. That's complete. It's Collins. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taking it about the 16. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that Plague did on the last one.
79 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Gary. There goes a deep ball, end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 46 yards as they have taken the lead. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punt. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something big.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year.
And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So how about the season, Charles, that he continues to put together? That's now 25 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's getting into some very rarefied territory.
Yeah, it made you and I do a little extra homework prior to this one in anticipation, because that one moves him past John Riggins with 24. He draws even with Emmitt Smith, who had 25 in 1995. Next up, Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander with 27. And the guy on top, LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, the Hall of Famer, he had 28 in 2006.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Looking middle, and that's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Collins. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Again, it's Lawrence.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
On third down, Lawrence
To the right side, incomplete to Washington. Touchdown, Falcons. A great effort there. 48 yards.
And the Falcons get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did. They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Extra point forthcoming. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D.
Taking it about the 1. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game.
And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
Now Lawrence.
He's got it to Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where it was the visiting Jaguars who were able to come away with the road victory. The Jaguars are still holding on as the win gets them to 9-6 on the year with 2 games to go. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Trent Taylor, a touchdown run in the victory. And lastly, we'll wrap up the week with Monday Night Football. Definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
This fielded right at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Here we go on 4th down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Backed up where they were on this side of the field, that was a gutsy call.
A gutsy call that never should have happened. Not so much them going for it. That's their decision. But where's the defensive front? Where's the leverage? Where's the low man wins? Where's getting into the offensive backfield and spilling the play? How did they permit them to pick up a first down in that situation?
He finds his man, complete. It's Soto. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Gary. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Gary. Wide open receiver, complete. And the Vikings are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Takes it at the 7. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Hilton. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick. This is taken at about the... Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
They'll run on 1st down. Hilton. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Lawrence. Complete to Washington. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And this one is right through. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Throw, but he makes the catch. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Back to throw. Gary finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Gary, he finds his man, complete. That's Soto. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
136 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Gary. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Potter. Touchdown! A great effort there. 29 yards.
And the Vikings are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Atlanta regains possession of the football. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 72 yards.
And the Falcons have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Great corner route
there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. And a little quarterback draw option works to perfection for him.
Yeah, it's hard to account for the quarterback in most situations on defense, and that's why the quarterback draw is so successful. Everyone else covered, makes a little fake, runs into the end zone.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
143 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Second down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd and 2, Gary looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
On 4th down, Gary. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, Charles, the name of the game last time, efficiency. Their very first snap, they connected for a quick touchdown.
They get more value than just the points from that series as well. Only needing one play, it keeps the entire offense rested up.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Lawrence from his end zone. And that is caught. What a catch inside the 5. Just a gain of a couple there. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Here's Lawrence. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick 6 will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no options. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded inside the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now a first carry for their fullback. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with third down and just a yard to go.
Lawrence will throw.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Lawrence.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They're going on fourth down. Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory.
Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for Minnesota, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.